guys, welcome to today's video. Today we are playing Biker Mice from Mars. Alright, well then. Main race, battle race, or practice. We're just going to go battle race. We'll go easy because we know I suck at racing games. Like, I will be the first to admit that I can't. Oh yeah, we're going to go sport bike all day. I have no money, so let's just get out of here and let's go race. Okay, the fact that you can get blocked and like lose sight of your stuff is a little annoying. The whole game just feels really awkward. Yeah, what the hell did I hit? Alright, so there is a jump. Like, everything feels exaggerated. Like when you do the normal where you would, kind of do a slide, the bike actually spins around instead, which throws you off. The fact that you are always behind these buildings, which in theory looks kind of cool, but when you're actually playing, gets kind of annoying because there's stuff hiding behind things apparently, and it just kind of sucks. Like, just everything about the game is very exaggerated. The controls really feel, they're just too kind of silly. I mean, terrible wording, I understand, and you really have to play to fully understand it, but like every movement is so exaggerated, is so like over the top, that the controls just feel weird and funky, and very disappointing. Like I said, the fact that when you go to do the, like you would normally slide, the spinning around thing, all of a sudden you're going in like the wrong direction. I don't know, we're going to try again with the regular, although the battle racing didn't really seem to do much. I mean, graphically it looks decent, but just the way it plays, the way it feels, and the way the controls are, is very, very, Alright, we're going to see if there's going to be rubber banding in this. Like, so far, it does not seem very rubber banding. There's no real point, it seems like, for the jumping. It doesn't seem like there's a really big rubber banding issue, at least not yet. Like, we're not getting, all of a sudden, having the enemy catch up to us. The jumping seems to be irrelevant, so we're just going to kind of bypass it. I don't know, the game seems very, kind of basic for what it is. I mean, it's just another racer. It's got its own little unique quirkiness just to kind of make it stand out, but it really doesn't make the game that great. I mean, I do like that if you do well enough, you don't have to worry about rubber banding, at least not at the moment. I mean, it has jump, which is kind of cool, I guess. I'm sure it comes in handy in some spots. Yeah, like you can see how far ahead we are. So, I mean, I really do like the fact that there's no rubber banding. I do get that it adds a level of difficulty and allows you to actually... But honestly, like, I get rubber banding. I really do. But all in all, like, I really feel like racing games can be a lot more enjoyable. Like, why not benefit and enjoy the fact that you can actually play the game well by being able to lap and just completely obliterate your opponents, right? Like, yeah, it gives you that element of always right there, but like when you're playing well, why should you be penalized for doing, you know, for being really well and having guys constantly on your ass when you could just outperform them, get ahead, and stay that way? Even that way, if you make a mistake, something bad happens, you're out in front. So I personally like the non-rubber banding because the ability to, like, hey, I did good. I'm going to be able to take advantage of this. I'm going to be able to enjoy, like, normal racing. Like, you get the one guy that's just better than everybody else, does it, and, like, is lapping people and doing stuff. Is that not better and just more kind of interesting than it is to have everybody just on your tail nonstop and it's just, like, a battle? Like, I get it. So, like, there's definitely the two schools to it. It's like, you have the people that like the rubber banding because it does give you that difficulty. You know, everybody's always there right on your tail trying to get stuff. But I really enjoy the fact that when you come out ahead and you're, you know, doing whatever, like if you were to, take a shortcut and like jump ahead because you knew what was going on and you had the ability to do that, why not be able to enjoy it, you know? Have that huge lead where you're just like, haha, I win, screw you all, as opposed to, you know, no matter what you do, somebody's always there. So what's the real point to that, you know? We don't have 5,000. Let's get tires. Even though I doubt that this has any real basis on anything, we're gonna just do it because. We'll check out a couple more tracks. We're not able to jump in this one, apparently. Oh, now we can... So it's weird, like you can jump, you can't jump the first lap. After the first lap, you gain jump. Or you only have so many of them. Okay, I can't jump anymore. So I guess you get a certain amount of jumps? Really weird, awkward. I don't see anything on here, on our screen to dictate, you know what. We're going to see when we cross the finish line here. Oh, okay, 3 bullets. Okay, so that's what it is. Our bullets. Is jumping. I mean, granted, I don't really think jumping has very big of an impact. Maybe a little bit more on the battling. But yeah, so far, like on easy, you definitely have a huge advantage. Like we are so far ahead of everybody right here. Yeah, I'm watching the bottom more so than I'm watching the top, just because I'm trying to see if we see a giant leap from any of the computer players, like to just magically start catching up kind of thing. in all, like, it is a racing game. You know, there's nothing really negative about it. It's very basic. Like, there's nothing really, other than the fact it looks decent enough. I mean, it looks definitely like a Super NES game. Like, it has that distinctive Super NES kind of feel and look to it. Other than that, I mean, there's not really anything special or unique. Other than the fact that there's no rubber banding. I mean, I think that's the main unique part of this entire game is no rubber banding. It does have the ability to buy parts, but I mean, a lot of games do that. I don't really feel like that really has a basis on most of the games. Most of the games, I feel like it's just there to kind of be there, if that makes sense, where it doesn't really have a huge effect on any of the game. Okay, the level's the maze, but it looks like just a another square. So far, level design, granted, looks decent enough. We do have bats in the way. It doesn't look like any of these... Okay, I was going to say, it doesn't look like any of these things are... Ah, what the hell? Ah. Got hit. That was interesting. So he has an attack. Oh, come on! That was disappointing. We jumped right onto it and it blew us up. This guy has a thing that keeps being able to shoot us. Oh, come on! That's getting to be fucking cheesy as hell. Because he was doing it so much. It's like we always had the... We can only jump like 3 times, but this guy has been shooting things like non-stop. Well, now I meant to actually get the motor, but... And then we're just going into these square... I mean, we had the one that kind of had a little bit of a change, but now, like, all the levels seem to just be us going around in a square. Like... Wow. kind of screwed ourselves hardcore on that one, but we're going to catch up. It does have Mario Kart vibes with the power-ups. What the hell? Interesting. I kind of wanted to test the labyrinth part and see if we could have done some shortcuts. I mean, we actually, because of the nitrous, definitely made huge strides in just completely crushing the opponents on that one. I mean, I know we're on easy, so I don't really put much stock in everything. But like I said, I mean, it is a very basic racing game. There's nothing really standing out. No major bells or whistles. They do have a little bit of the kind of Mario Kart vibe where you do get a couple of power-ups. Nothing is as fun or detrimental as Mario Kart is. A plasma V8 for $9 grand, huh? We'll go a little bit more. It's already becoming kind of boring. Like, there's not really a whole lot going on. The game is kind of basic. They're not really doing a whole lot other than changing the kind of the levels. Granted, they look different, but all in all, they're the same thing. Like, we're just going around in the same basic. I mean, they're constantly being squares. Yeah, the kind of the look of it is a little off, but I mean a little different. But other than that, it's still the same level. Kind of feels like. Jesus, we have so far ahead of the competition. It's insane. Like, I wish we got nitrous again so we can see about lapping these guys. We're like a half a thing away from these guys, as is. So easy is definitely exactly as it says. It is very easy. We are actually getting ready to. We almost lapped somebody. Like, we were so close to lapping somebody on that one. All in all, like, it's a racing game. It is downgraded from Mario Kart, obviously. It doesn't really have any distinguishing characteristics other than a bunch of mice and such on various mechanical vehicles. Like, it says motorcycle, but half of those are not even motorcycles. It's basic. The level design so far, other than changing the motif of it, really didn't have much going on for it. That is funny. Alright, so I guess we get that's the first round. I mean, it seems like it has a decent amount of levels. Let's see if they've changed much of anything. I mean, it's not quite a square anymore. But we got back into the cityscape. I mean, I guess there's that. Regardless of still a lot of the basicness of the game, it still has like a bit more going on for it than just like racing like Mario Kart. So in that aspect, oh, come on, really? I wasn't even on any of that. That's a little upsetting. I mean, the fact that you can do stuff like that is kind of cool. I like that you blow up the thing and it actually stays there. It's kind of... We screwed up so bad too, and we're already like back to being way ahead. I've not seen much of anything. The only two things I've ever really gotten is money and nitro. And that's pretty much it. And the button I thought was the brake is actually the thing that uses the weapon, so or the special. So I did start actually being able to use that like 4 races in. But like I haven't got the skull, I haven't got the time, I haven't got the star. I mostly just get the money bags. And occasionally nitrous, which I don't know if that's like supposed to happen. Like certain cars get certain things, or if we're just very unlucky and haven't gotten any like weapons really. Because it seems like that one dude has been constantly getting that targeting thing. I mean, I guess we can get another engine. I don't know, it's decent enough to want to get, like, I haven't really wanted to, like, just stop playing because I was overly bored. I'm not overly, like, it's not, like, immensely enjoyable where I'm like, I want to keep playing. But, honestly, it's just good enough to keep you wanting to play, but not good enough to like really be, oh my god, I just love this game. Again, we're still getting into this whole mostly just driving in squares, not even circles. We're driving in squares. And see, we got the money bags again. I wonder if... that was one thing I was actually wondering about, if we could do that. And the other thing I was wondering about is... what the hell was that? Wow, we are totally getting hosed this time around. Alright, that's funny. I have to admit, that is pretty hilarious. Also, I now got a weapon. I don't know what it did. Fucking dude, man. He always has that. Okay, that's pretty fucking cheesy. That guy is constantly getting that. Oh, what I was going to say before I lost my train of thought by getting completely decimated was, I wonder if on harder levels, if the finger goes away. The levels are getting a little more difficult. You have a lot more options of actually falling into the hazards. So like the levels are progressing into a little bit more difficult territory. But I don't know. The game is playable. There's nothing glaringly wrong with it at all. The more you play it, the more the controls feel decent enough. I don't really ever see the using of the R and L because, like I said, it 360s you and throws you all over the place. My biggest thing is the level design leaves a lot to be desired. It's really kind of very... It's working. It's a lot better on the second round. You're starting to have a lot more hazards that are causing a lot more issues. And the levels are getting a little harder. So that's nice. The non-rubber banding really, I think is the best part of this game for me, is the non-rubber banding. To where if you can get ahead of everybody, then you have the ability to stay there without really worrying about stuff. And almost taking your time, being able to actually play the game and enjoy it by being, ahead of everybody. And, I think... rather than worrying about the person always on your tailpipe, you can focus on trying hard to be able to lap guys. And I think that's the most fun in a racing game, is like playing with your buddies. Isn't it more fun to work on lapping your friend than it is to just be neck and neck with them? Because like there's that little chef's kiss of, I just passed your ass a second time kind of thing, which is really nice. So anyways, this is Biker from Mars. Like, the game is fine. Really nothing majorly bad with it at all. There's no issues at all with it. It functions just fine. Everything is good. It just doesn't have anything that really stands out overly well. Like I said, I think this is just a side note. The whole upgrading your vehicle doesn't seem to be doing anything, honestly. I feel like if you do anything to your car, it just does it to theirs. We could probably just never touch that. And I don't think it would have any basis on the game whatsoever. I doubt that they ever really did. Most of them are just there as you get this little side game where you upgrade your stuff. As we can see, it didn't really do anything. Like we did our engine twice. We're doing exactly the same as everybody else is. Doesn't really matter. The tires I don't see are doing anything. It never really does. RC Pro, all those games. You do that, and it just changes what the computer does, so it really doesn't have a basis on the game whatsoever. And I feel like this is exactly the same thing. But the game is fine. It's just it just sits right in the middle where it's not bad in any way, but it's not. There's no really any like real parts to the game that stand out more so than some of the other better versions of these kind of racing games. So with that being said, guys, thanks for joining me. Until next time, have a good one.